Hi, good afternoon. I'm Nathan Bavor, and this is the Storytime speech for public speaking. Today, I made sure I had my audience. I'm going to just turn the computer here for a second. And there's my lovely wife, Sarah. And Anna and Joshua are over there. And our newest one, Rachel, can't really see her, but she's sitting in that little bouncer chair right there with a cat sitting on top of her. So there's my audience for today. Today, I was asked to give a story, and I was really excited about this one because I love to read stories. I love to read a lot of Western novels that tell just fun stories, exciting stories. And I also really enjoy cowboy poetry, which usually tells a story and has a good moral to the story. So I'm going to recite a poem today that was written by a man named Bill Jones, and this is called Jake the Rancher. Now, Bill Jones is a cowboy poet. He lives out west, and he travels around a lot, writing poetry and sharing it at cowboy poetry gatherings and festivals from all around. So this is Jake the Rancher by Bill Jones. Jake the Rancher. Jake the Rancher set out one day to fix a distant fence. The winds were cold and gusty, and the clouds were gray and dense. When he pounded in the last nail and gathered up his tools to go, the temperature had fallen, and the snow had begun to blow. And when he turned that key, he felt the heaviness of heart. He knew by the way the ignition sounded that truck wasn't going to start. So he did what most of us would do if we was there. He bowed his balding head, and he sent aloft a prayer. When he turned the key for the last time, and he slowly cursed his luck, they found Jake 3 days later, frozen in the cab of that old pickup truck. Now Jake, in his younger years, had done his share of roaming, but he was pleasantly surprised to find that heaven looked just like Wyoming. Now there were some changes, of course, just some minor things. The winds in Rawlins and Cheyenne was now just a gentle breeze, and the BLM was shut down, and there was no grazing fees. Now though Jake was happy, he was not just quite satisfied, and so he saddled up and rode out one day, not knowing what he'd find. Well, he ended up in Cody one October afternoon, and who should he find but St. Peter in the Loose Caboose Saloon. Now, of all of the saints in heaven, Jake's favorite one was Peter, and this line don't make no sense, but it makes for good rhyme and meter. So they shared a frosty mug or two, or maybe it was three. No one keeps track in heaven, for you see, all root beers are free. They tell me, Jake said to Peter, that God answers all your prayers, but the day I needed him, he simply wasn't there. Does he answer the prayers of some and ignore the prayers of others? That don't seem square to me, for I know all men are brothers. Or maybe he answers randomly, without no rhyme, no reason. Maybe it's the time of day, the weather, or maybe it's the season. Now I don't mean to gripe, but that's just the way I feel. So could you tell me, St. Peter, what the heck's the deal? Well, Peter waited patiently till old Jake was gone, and then he said with a sigh, "Ah, you're the one. The day your truck wouldn't start and you sent a prayer adrift, you caught us at a busy time, the end of a long day shift. But still, 10,000 angels marched to check on your file, but you know, Jake, we hadn't heard from you in quite a while. God answers all your prayers, he's got no quota. But he didn't recognize your voice, so we cranked up some guy's truck out in North Dakota." That's Jake the Rancher by Bill Jones, and of course more of the story is to pray often. And that's one of my favorites, and thanks for listening.